Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. So today I'm here with my great friend Elli Jafari. Now, and try and get this title right because it's a long one. You are the Exec VP of the Standard Hotels for UK, Europe and the US.
Yes,
I mean,
that's it.
let's start maybe from the beginning, right? What did you want to do and how did you get into this industry?
Well, it goes way back. So I'll start from the beginning. I'm Iranian, so I grew up in a very big Iranian family, which means lots of hospitality. So I think it's safe to say
You had to entertain.
Exactly. You grow up and I was the youngest, so I had to entertain, and there was lots of parties. So it kind of started with that.
So you're the youngest of how many?
I was 6,
Okay.
so I'm the youngest daughter, and from that early on, I was the one who, whenever we had a party where people would come in, I would be doing dancing and entertaining and going around.
She's still doing that, by the way.
Exactly. I can belly dance really well. So moved to US, went to school in California for hospitality, and I was very, very fortunate from the beginning of my career. I worked for a lot of amazing mentors. I ended up working for Wolfgang Puck, which was my first internship, which led to a full-time job. I did my first restaurant opening, which led to a first hotel opening with that crew, which was in Vegas back in the days.
Wow.
And then from there, it just went up and up and up. And from there, moved to New York, and I've done many openings. And I would say,
Because you were in New York for a while.
yeah, 15 years.
15 years, yeah. So
Where
where were you again in New York?
I opened a nightclub. After that, I went to work for the Macchioni family. I worked for Sirio at Le Cirque, and I would say that would be very pinnacle of where it was one of the questions that I saw earlier was, what inspired you? It was working for Sirio, working for that family.
So what was it specifically that inspired you? Because you're saying, was that a real turning point in your
Yeah,
career?
it was the real hospitality. It was the restaurant that you would walk in, and from the element of the design and the decor, then the food and the service, everything was magical. It was that
came together.
Yeah, it was that old school New York hospitality that everything kind of flowed together, and it felt magical.
And it felt like a home.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the things, I mean, I can say as a regular to the Standard, and I'm constantly coming to see Elli here, and be it Decimo, the restaurant, be it this amazing nightclub where we celebrated my husband's birthday, or, just downstairs in the sort of lounge area, it feels like a home.
Yeah.
And everyone treats you like it's your home away from home. So
exactly.
How did you instill that in, obviously, now this, this place and your work, ethos?
I think I surround myself with my team that have the same energy, same ethos, same mindset. I think it's really, really important for, in interviews, I always look at their energy. I don't look at their CV. I know, obviously, technically you can teach things, but you can't teach hospitality. Either you got it or you don't.
Let's talk through a day in the life of you right now, because you're traveling all over the sort of, Europe and US, and it's exhausting. And I want to know around, what a real kind of, maybe a week in the life of you, and where you're going to and from. And
well, it's been really hectic. Hopefully it's going to slow down soon. I don't know if it will. But a week is, if I'm in New York, again, days are very early. If I'm in New York, my days start at 6 a.m. My first call is at 6 because I check in with the team.
You're not starting at 6, you're getting up at 5.
Oh, yeah.
You're starting at 5.
Yeah.
And your first work call's at 6.
Correct. So when I wake up, I think one thing that I like to share with everyone, I meditate. So meditation has been kind of my savior for the last 10 years because I have crazy hours, despite of, even before. I normally work 6 days, some nights are 3 a.m., 4 a.m. First thing first, I catch my breath, which is really, really important.
Do you do a 10-minute one, a 20-minute one?
Depends how bad I am.
Okay, yeah.
Depends how exhausted my mind is. So my body tells me, sometimes it's 10 breaths. Sometimes it's 5 minutes. Depends how much time I have.
Yeah, I'm a real believer of the breath work.
It's amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
It's amazing. If I'm home, I have a really cute spa. So I go to my spa, I light a little candle. It's more like a ritual. So I meditate, have a cup of coffee, rearrange my crystal. Yes.
I get that. And everyone does it in their own way.
Correct. That to me is it's a good day. When I get a chance to make that connection, I think that connection would then allows me to be calm and be present. I really love connecting with my team. I think knowing that they're good and everything is good kind of allows me to just another grounding moment of my day. And then the days normally go from, I would say, again, on property here in London, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. A day like tomorrow, it will end at 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, I tell everyone I have 3 jobs: day job, afternoon job, and an evening job.
You always have so many cool parties because the brands all want to be here. And the thing is, it's the atmosphere you've cultivated that makes them want to do it here. So that's, you and your team.
Standard belongs to our tribe. That's really, really important. And that's something that started from, our first property that opened in 1999.
Was it 1999?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Sunset.
The Sunset one,
Hollywood,
it's amazing. And what do you call that? Because you have a really cool group of people that are part of the Standard family.
Right.
So, for example, you were so clever during lockdown when obviously the hotels were shut, and you brought in amazing talent like Harris Reed and Chet Lowe that you discovered and gave them a place to work, a home, that they could work from, and it became their they were the artists in residence, weren't they?
Right.
And then they, in their own way, then sort of talked and sort of spoke the brand because they were great ambassadors.
It's all about collaboration. It's all about that you do a beautiful job. You have amazing collaborators that
they have to be authentic. And
exactly.
We're the same. It has to be real friendships. It has to be there has to be a connection. There has to be a an energy when you meet.
Exactly. To me, that is again same as picking my team. I do the same with our allies, the Standard Circle as we call them. It's a bigger group of people that I can name many. If it's Lulu from Fashionese, Sugar Ansari, which is a great friend of ours. There's so many, Lynette from Days. All these powerful ladies are my ally, our allies, and in London, I feel so supported. And that's why I think it's a two-way street.
It's just really, you bring a very diverse, inspiring group of women together,
And we'll continue doing that.
Good.
I think in my team as well, I'm very proud, and in our team globally, my CEO is a female, which is incredible. Yes, she's a powerhouse, and
really
she's amazing, and she inspires me every day in her strength and how, she handles. She's a mother. She has 2 beautiful young daughters, and she's a phenomenal leader. And when you see our executive team in the US, there's so many powerful ladies sitting in that exec room, which is amazing. I'm very proud of it. It's a good feeling. I was watching Brianna's interview about Super Bowl, and she said something really important. When you love something, it gets you out of the bed literally every morning differently, right? So when you're connected, when you're on the seat of your soul, you're not just working, you are co-creating, and then you're co-creating with your tribe, with a group of people that inspire you day in, day out. And that is the best part of what we do. That's what I love most about my job. I love it. But I'd like to have 2 days off eventually. It will happen soon.
So one thing I really wanted to ask you about was, you're in hospitality, we went through COVID. What was that like? Because that must have been the most challenging time for someone in your industry.
Oh, it was awful. I think it was one of the darkest, hopefully the last time any of us, I'm sure many people felt what we all felt, what I felt. I was here alone in the hotel most days. I stayed here throughout the week. And when you live alone by yourself, you do all these intense Zoom calls. And then I remember 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you finish your last Zoom, you close your laptop, and it would be quiet. And it was the feeling of despair and loneliness. And so it was really, really bad. It was, I cried a lot. I think for me, it broke me open as well, to just be vulnerable and feeling my feelings. I worked out a lot. I was the best shape of my life. I worked out in the morning, I worked out in the afternoon, I was running, I was training for
that's amazing. By the way, that's amazing that you did do that, because I did not work out a lot. I just drank a lot. Okay, so good for you.
I drank a lot, but it was in the morning workout. Then I would, funny enough, Harris was here, so I was alone, but I had Harris and his crew.
Oh well, that's
in 2020.
Okay.
In 122, and then
that was a bit later on after the second.
He moved in. I think he moved in September, middle of the 2020. And so I would wait for them to finish their day.
Outside the door.
I guess we're done. Do you want to come to my room? Should we order Deliveroo? And so I would do that. That was my routine
But I'm
during
sure
the week.
he and his team needed that support
Exactly.
group as well. It is mutual.
Correct.
And that's why you guys are also such great friends.
Yeah.
And you've lived through something
We went through
monumental.
we went through
and
it
it
together.
forges these friendships for life.
The best part was like some days were so great and we were celebrating something. Some days we just sit there and cry, and we would take turns. Either it was Harris's turn or it was my turn.
Yeah.
But then thankfully 2021 came and the business came back with a vengeance.
I couldn't find a seat downstairs earlier. While it was just so full, it's so buzzing.
So I'm very grateful for that. So it's behind us. I learned like so many amazing lessons, and what the best one I think for me is that I'm always, grateful for being busy and having things to do and having friends around and being able to call you inviting me for dinner and say I'm coming. I overpromise now too much.
Yeah.
I say yes to everything.
Okay, so if you could say one thing you were looking forward to this year, or maybe not one, just what are you looking forward to most this year?
Personally?
Yeah.
Okay. Personally, I'm looking forward to falling in love. That's why I'm wearing two heart and my fingers both so much.
Okay.
I would love to fall in love and have a bit of a romance in my life.
So focus more on your personal life,
Yes.
balance it out.
Yes.
Okay, because you're constantly on a plane traveling, you're constantly working, so it's just finding that time to actually give to someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, find that
Go on a
person.
date.
Yeah. Okay, so then we do ask everyone, if there was something that you would write on a billboard that you either learned or you wish you'd been told or wish you'd learnt earlier, what would it be? What would you say to sort of people out there who look at you and your career and everything you've achieved? What advice would you give?
Don't be fearful. Fear it's the numbing energy that sets you back from your greatness. I have a saying, and I tell myself over and over, there is no failing in trying. And if you really, really have that kind of mindset in anything you do, you'll surprise yourself. So put the fear aside, breathe, trust your gut, and be fearless. Go for it, enjoy it, even if you're miserable, it will end. Whatever happens, like Tom Hanks says, nothing is forever. Every moment is ever evolving, and you're part of that. So be part of the experience and give it a go.
Well, thank you so much, Elli.
My pleasure.
Thanks for being part of this.
My
I was
pleasure.
so honoured to interview you and chat about your journey.
Same. Thank you so
I'm
much.
always so inspired by you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thanks,
you all.
everyone.